I can't express how honored I am to have Masih as the recipient of this award as well. I've known Masih for many years. I first met her when she came to the public school where I was teaching to speak to a class of 8th graders. And she brought such passion and so much commitment to her cause. She really enraptured. She enraptured those students, particularly the girls, who chased her around forever with copies of her book to have it signed, waving their cell phones as their new weapon, as she was explaining to them. And I think it speaks so much to the profound nature of her commitment. This was no exalted forum, and she's been to many exalted forums. It was very humble, and she was in heaven among these students. She is so committed. This is the cause of her life, and I said to her, you know, one of the reasons I love coming to ASMEA is because it's a very welcoming place, and that was not a common feeling for Fouad or I for many, many, many years. There was a sense of siege almost all the time, and I think Masih knows that sense of siege many times over, and for her it's a life-threatening one. For him it was not, but there's still the sense of being alone, and always everyone telling him not to do this, to refrain from doing that. It would get him in trouble. It would cause this response. And I always said to him, I always said to these people, how can I tell him not to do it? It's what he knows is right. It's what he believes in most deeply. How can you tell someone not to do something like that? And I think that is Masih in every way. I wish he was here to know her. I wish so much he was here to know her, and to know that she is the honoree that is really honoring him in this way. I think he would be absolutely thrilled. And secondly, I think what particularly draws the two together is their love of where they came from, and that everything they do is out of that deep love. And for Masih, you know, it's not just about fighting for women's rights. You know, as Fouad deeply believed, no country, no civilization, no culture can flourish if half its population is annulled. And she is fighting for the not just the whole country, but for all of those areas of the world where people are oppressed and kept down. She's fighting now for democracy. That is really her goal. And I can't express enough how deeply, deeply honored I am, and Fouad is, to have her receive this award. Masih.
Big hug. I need a big hug. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, it seems that you're taller than me, because I have to bring this down now. First of all, I love you. Thank you so much. And second of all, I love you all as well, because I just came from the United States courthouse because of being followed by killers. So I love you so much that I can share the bullets with you. Yeah, I try to make joke about it to survive. So I'm sure you all heard about the term dead man walking, no? I'm the dead woman walking and talking. So I'm going to be talkative. It is an honor for me to receive Fouad Ajami's award, the prize. But I'm being very honest with you. I didn't have the chance to meet him in person, and I didn't know what was the link that I was picked by you to get this award. And I came all the way from New York to DC, and I said, you know what? I have to meet people who have first-hand experience, who know Fouad very well. And I spent 1 hour with one of his former students. I had one of the most emotional moments. what I learned about Fouad made me to be more proud to receive this award. First of all, I learned that the root goes to my country, Iran, as well. Second, Fouad was ahead of his time. And that's why he had to survive deep criticism. I relate to this a lot. He was an author, but his style of writing was poetic. And I love that. But what most amazed me about Fouad, that he was proud of his roots. Yes, Michelle, he loved his roots, but he was not shy to say that loud and clear that he loved America. He knew that. He was ahead of his time because he knew that the chaos in the Middle East and what is happening in the Middle East, he was not the one putting the blame on the West, America, and Israel. I relate to that as well. So for me, tonight, it's an honor to receive this award, and knowing that better, that people before me have been fighting hard to make awareness about what's going on in the Middle East. He cared about women's rights. He cared about democracy. He cared about dignity, and he loved his roots, and he was proud to love America. Yes, so for me, just walking out from the courthouse and now standing before you, I grew up in a small village in the Middle East, being brainwashed to chant death to America, to hate America. As a woman who loved my country and fighting for the women of my country, which I actually chanted death to America. I'm being very honest with you, as loud as the White House would shake. But how ironic. The same country gave me a second life. The same country protected me. My adopted country, America, protected me from the government of my birth country, Iran. So many of you might ask, what have you done that the regime in Iran killed you? So here I want to share my own story. I grew up in a very, very tiny village, close to Caspian Sea. Even when I say that Caspian Sea, my heart is like beating fast. So I have been away from my family and my country for 15 years. They managed to kick me out from my country, Iran. They couldn't manage to take Iran out of my heart because I grew up there. My childhood was there. As a 7-year-old girl, I was forced to watch the mullahs from black and white TV in my tiny village. We had black and white TV, and I was watching the mullahs telling me, cover your hair. As you see, I have massive hair, which I want to show you now. That's my weapon. That's my weapon. I had to cover them all. Yes. I couldn't cover them. So from the age of 7, I had to watch the mullahs telling me what to do, what kind of lifestyle to follow, how to follow Sharia laws, how to hate myself, my body, my identity. That's why I had to be a rebel from early age. So I became my own savior from the village rather than, I had two options. To be a victim, listen to all they say, or to be a warrior. So alongside millions of girls, they grow up in the Middle East, I had two options, and I choose the second option, to be a warrior. For that, I got myself into trouble a lot. I got kicked out from everywhere, literally everywhere. First from high school, because of asking questions, critical questions. Then I became a parliamentary journalist. I just exposed the corruption, like the pay slips of the members of the parliament. I'm sure that, how many journalists are here? Hands up. Okay, you know that. In America, when you do that, you receive an award. My award was being kicked out from Iranian parliament. So I'm not used to receive prize or recognition. I'm used to receive guns, bullets, cursing, being kicked out from everywhere. At the end, they managed to kick me out from my beautiful country, Iran. So I came in exile And I used my freedom of speech to launch a campaign against compulsory hijab. So when I created the campaign, My Stealthy Freedom, talking about women of Iran walking unveiled, sending videos to me, this time I was not kicked out by the Iranian regime. I was not censored by the government. I was not being told, shh, by the regime in Iran. I felt lonely here in the West. Because a lot of time I kept hearing from journalists, from people in academia, from people in the West, global feminist movement, telling me that, you know, hijab is part of your culture because of, you know, white savior complex argument, Orientalism. You're all familiar with this. You're coming from the same field. White feminists should not save the women of color in the Middle East. They all told me, shh, cultural relativism, using different argument, dismissing the fight of women of Iran against compulsory hijab. And every single time when I was being dismissed, I was being under criticism, my sister in arms kept sending me messages. I see you. Americans see you. We see you. I have been fighting 10 years. People like you, a lot of women like you, gave me the power not to give up my fight. And just 2 years ago, the same morality police that I have been fighting against killed Mahsa Amini, 22 years old Kurdish woman in Iran, for simply showing a little bit of her hair. Just a little bit of her hair. How many women are here? Hands up. Honestly, I want to see. Think about it. The first thing before you come here, tell me, what was in your mind? Just making your hair beautiful, the way you want to be seen. No? Using the mirror to make yourself the one that you want to be. So in my country, women have to use the mirror to be the one that the mullahs want them to be. So that woman got killed simply for showing a bit of her hair. And that was the moment, suddenly, a lot of Western female, politicians, feminists, they recognized our fight against compulsory veiling. So they started to cut their hair, which I wanted them to cut their relation with our killers, their diplomatic relation with our killers. That was the first step. But I said to myself that this is a victory for ordinary women inside the country under massive oppression. They learned how to be their own leader, and at the end convinced the global leaders, the global feminist movement, that we are not begging for our right. We are taking our right back from the Islamic Republic. So the black and white TV that I mentioned, you remember? Now, the mullahs in my country, they're watching me. And they're watching millions of Iranian women from their own TV, saying no to forced hijab, saying no to Islamic Republic. For me, it's an honor right now to receive this prize in the name of the women of Iran, in the name of every single girl who were blinded by the security forces in my country, in the name of every mother whose children got killed by the Islamic Republic, but they are the loudest voice in my beautiful country, Iran. But at the same time, I want to continue my fight against those in the West, right now in the West, censoring us and telling us that this is your culture. Forcing women in Iran, in Afghanistan, being kicked out from school from Iran is not our culture. It's the culture of ISIS. It's the culture of Taliban and Islamic Republic. And I am pleased to be among all of you. Your recognition means a lot to me. And I want to admit one thing. 2 years ago, finally, the new school in New York gave me an honorary doctorate. And I was shy to talk about it, because the Islamic Republic always put the guilt on our shoulder. No one knows about it. My husband made beautiful videos. I have those videos with me. But I always thought, like, women of Iran get killed. And the moment that I was receiving the honorary doctorate, 3 protesters got executed by the government in my country. And I kept quiet. But this prize empowered me to go out and say that loud, yes, we the women of Iran who care about democracy, who care about freedom, we the women of the Middle East who care about protecting democracy everywhere, we deserve to be recognized and we deserve to have you as our allies because together we are stronger. Do we have time? I want to talk more. Thank you so much. Thank you and I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, I see something important here. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, picture? I forgot to share the pickle story. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it.